Hold up.
Hey guys, it is Tristan with Nerdouts Newsstand, and I want to talk a little bit about what we did earlier, kind of go more into detail, and I have 2 comments I want to specifically talk about. Now, of course, if you didn't see my video earlier, you have no idea what I'm talking about. So I will link that down below in the pinned comment. But I am talking about the fact that Jonathan Kent, Superman, has come out as bisexual. Now, there are a lot of people going on, well, this is just a publicity stunt. And I actually kind of agreed with it when it came to Tim Drake's version of Robin, because it felt, for a lot of people for a long time, that Tim was at least bisexual, right? But initially when that character was first introduced, that was not how it felt. So for that, I may say that was more of a get you, cash grab, right? Get that title up in sales and get it moving. For this one, I don't feel like it is. I don't feel like this is a publicity stunt or an agenda, because there is no difference, in my opinion, between this relationship and Clark and Lois. It's actually very similar. They say you marry your mother for males, but my God, did you have to make him a hacktivist? Like, he's truly with his mother. Okay, that's weird. But what I really want to talk about is by erasure, and talk about how it is perceived in the media and kind of what that leads to. And I'm not calling anyone out. I did ask permission for the one to use the comment, and the other one I will mark out the names, because this is ridiculous. If you think that bisexuality is not real, I have some news for you. It absolutely is. There is a difference between bisexuality and pansexuality, though it's not a huge difference, but there definitely is a difference. Now, when it comes to bisexuality and erasure, we've seen it done time and time again. And I actually think that there are some really good characters within DC Comics that are bisexual and do show that. One of which is Harley Quinn. She is and always has been, in my opinion, bisexual. We saw her with Joker. We saw her with Booster Gold. We saw her with Nightwing. We saw her with Poison Ivy. It is something she kind of bounces around about. Another character that's really good about it is Constantine. Constantine is an amazing character, and it's really unfortunate that in his initial series, we did have that Fox series, I believe it was, before the CW was really a DC thing, that was a way to erase his bisexuality. It was never mentioned. That's a huge part of his character, and it's really a shame. Now, Manchester Black is another male bisexual character that we see rarely used. So as far as if you're looking at representation for bisexuality, and I want you to remember there is a difference between that and being a gay character. There's not very much. Your best bet right now in comics is Constantine and Ghostmaker. And Ghostmaker is a pretty new character. I guess you could say Catman, right? Maybe a little bit. He was made bisexual in Gail Simone's run. That character also, again, not necessarily the best character for representation, and it's rarely used as part of a canonical run. Catman, I can't even think of the last time we saw him. Another character, Jericho, right? Slade's son, rarely used. So these characters are within comics, but as far as an actual male bisexual character, the only other main one is Constantine. So if you're telling me there's a bunch of representation, there's not. There's one good character and one side character. That's it. There is no main characters. There is no big, as far as males go, there's no big headliner in this medium. And you can't even put somebody like Jackson Hyde in there because he is gay. So looking at this from a bisexual lens, we see a lot of these characters erased. And that's where I'm going to kind of lead my point to the next comment that I have. saying, gay, bi, same thing. Oh boy, no, it is not. Absolutely, it is not. There is a huge difference between sexuality and bisexuality and being gay, right? It just is not the same thing. I'm sorry. And it's known in comics too. Actually, well, I don't know about Marvel. No, I will say that. But we do see good, back and forth. I talked about that earlier. But it is erased most of the time. Look at a character like Ao from Black Panther. Her bisexuality was completely erased when it came to the movie. Still to this day, it is completely erased. Another huge one was Hercules. Hercules has always been known to be bisexual, and when they brought him over to Marvel Comics and they talked about, I think it was Axel Alonso, he said, no, he's straight. No, he is now straight. Even if you look at stuff like Riverdale on the CW, which I don't watch, I will say that, but Jughead Jones, he was erased. Mystique in the original X-Men, her bisexuality was erased. Up until recently, Loki's was also. And those are two characters that are kind of gender fluid, right? They are shapeshifters, so they're able to be whatever gender they want to be at that time. And that was erased for a very long time. I am curious to see if in the new X-Men, however they go about it, however they do it, how they bring in Mystique and how they do her character. I'm hoping, because I know in the comics now they're doing a good job with that. Another one, now we're going a little outside of comics now, but one of my favorite movies when I was younger was Interview with a Vampire. And that was because of Brad Pitt being in Legends of the Fall, and his name was Tristan, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever. So I love this movie. But Louis and Lestat in that movie, their bisexuality was erased. If you read the original Anne Rice novels, they are two bisexual characters that were completely erased for the show. I'm curious to see what they're going to do with the new show now, but it's not really something that I'm super interested in. MAGAir in Ghost in the Shell, not only was she whitewashed by Scarlett Jo playing that character, which I do like Scarlett Jo. I never watched Ghost in the Shell, but her bisexuality, again, also erased. So this is something that is pretty typical in media. And talking about DC, Wonder Woman is one of the best characters in the DCEU by far. Shazam maybe is up there also. I love Gal Gadot. She's amazing. Her bisexuality was also erased, and they haven't really explored that. Is, they've gone by way of Steve Trevor, but they could have explored it and they didn't. Same, let's go over to Marvel. Valkyrie in Thor Ragnarok, that is a character that also was gender swap, race swap. And then, of course, her bisexuality was erased. So this is, I'm not trying to kind of beat you over the head with examples here, but I just want you to see that it is actually an issue. It's actually done quite often. William Shakespeare, right? Most people wouldn't know that he was bisexual, but he is. Like, there are a lot of times that history erases this. I know a lot of people won't like me saying this, but even when it comes to to historical figures, Abraham Lincoln, there was a lot to lead people to think that he was also bisexual, and that has been erased pretty much from history itself. So it's not that I have an issue with Jonathan being bi whatsoever. What I have the issue with is the erasure of people saying, look, it's the same thing, which it's not. And people also going, well, there's so much representation for you. Didn't you know about Midnighter and Apollo? They're gay. There is a difference. That's why I think that this is such a non-issue. It's a non-controversy, right? There is no issue here. It's a new character, even though I had people saying it wasn't. He is a fresh slate. And I even seen a video that said, well, how do I know he's not gay? Because he had a relationship with Saturn Girl and he's 17. Bro, no. Do you know what you're going to do for the rest of your life at 17? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You do not know. You also don't know who you're going to marry. You also don't know who you're going to have children with. You also don't know a whole lot of anything. And if you're 17 and listening to this, I apologize. But at that age, you're dumb. At that age, you are absolutely dumb. At 17, I was skipping school and drinking. I didn't know what I wanted to do with the rest of my life. I was kissing boys and girls. I didn't know what I wanted to do with the rest of my life. So at 17, 18, 19, you don't know. And that's okay. It's okay no matter what. Don't let anyone tell you any different. So let me know, of course, what you guys think about this. I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.